Hi everybody, welcome to a new tutorial from Sound for More. It's Leo speaking. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to Senode, a new graph sequencer from Sebastian Arnold. So it's not the usual traditional sequencer which uses a piano roll to add MIDI notes to different tracks. Instead it uses a graph editor, which is really nice. So you can create nodes, emitters, and link them all together. It comes in two different versions. You have the AUv3 version and also the standalone version. The standalone version has an on-built synth, which you can use, of course, to create your own composition. I hope you like it. So let's get started with this introductory video. Thank you.
Okay, let's start giving you a quick demonstration of how Senode works. It's a fantastic graph sequencer. It comes in two editions. So the standalone version, which you see here, which has also an inbuilt synth, and also the AUv3 version, which doesn't have the option to use an inbuilt synth, but for that you will use, of course, other audio unit instances inside your preferred host. The way it works is very simple. You first start with an emitter. You click on the plus sign here, and then you click somewhere on the screen to create that emitter. Now, you can also see at the bottom here that you have different options for that emitter. So, for example, you can click where it says emitter and change the name of that emitter. So, for example, let's select or type drums. Okay, then what you can do, the emitter emits what are called ticks, and those ticks travels through different nodes which emit MIDI messages, and the direction in which to follow through the nodes from the emitter is established by these connectors. So let's click on the plus sign here and let's create 4 nodes like that. Very simple, right? So let's click on the arrow now, and what you can do is then select an entity, then click and drag like that. You see the arrow coming out to go to that, and you can do the same here like that, directly clicking on each of different nodes. And as you can see, you can also create a circular node. So in this case, ticks will go from the emitter called drums inside this first node, then to the second node, third node, fourth node, and then go back to the first node and then restart. Now, what I want to show you here is click on the first node there and enable the recording button here, and then click on the C node here, okay, on the keyboard, and you have that C that is recorded for that node. Let's go to the third node and let's select node up here high. Okay, perfect. Let's disable this now. And let's reselect the emitter. And in order to enable the emitter, you need to click on this arrow here, like so, and you see the drums name becoming green, and you see also it's playing the first note, and if you keep clicking on it, it will send a tick out, okay, and it will move across the different nodes. Of course, you can click on the play up here and have it play, okay, automatically. Now, keeping still on the selection of the emitter, you can change the division here. So for example, let's go to 1/8 division. And you have other options, like for example, up and down octave, up and down in terms of semitones as well. Additional option here, and you can set the reverb, the filter, the volume, the tone, the type of sound wave, and then the output, if it is the inbuilt synth, or for example, if you want to use different audio MIDI channel as output. Now, for this particular emitter, what I want to do is to make it sound almost like a drums. So I'm going to change the type of wave, like so, and then I'm going to reduce the reverb. So you click and hold, and then you move up and down to change, in this case, the decay. You can do the same for the attack, the sustain, and the release. So let's see what it sounds like that. Yeah, okay, that's good enough for now. Now let me show you what else you can do. So let's make it a little bit more musical. So let's create another emitter, like so. Now let's change that name of that emitter to, for example, something like bass, like so. Now, what I want to do is to click on this arrow here, and then I'm going to click on the recording button again, and then I'm going to generate some notes. in this case 4 nodes. What you notice is they're already all connected, okay? And each node is connected to each other and also has a node as an event for the particular node, which is great. Now let's remove the recording button. Let's make sure we still have the connection tool enabled, and let's enable that emitter, then drag to the first node and then select the last node and connect it to the first one to create a cycle. Now let's rearrange a little bit the nodes in the screen so we have a look at what that looks like. So let's click on the emitter again, and let's change some of the setting down here to make it sound more like a bass while I play, and of course I need to enable it. Okay, that sounds really nice, doesn't it? Now you can also zoom out with the plus and minus magnifier symbols here. Let's create another emitter. So let's click on the plus sign like so, and let's change that name to something like, for example, Synth, and then let's press OK on that. Then let's click on the connection tool, the arrow here, and then let's record event, and let's record something. Okay, so I've recorded something. Let's zoom out like so. And you can also connect your external MIDI controller to actually play notes as well directly. So that's really nice. So anyway, so let's now do the relevant connection like so. And then from that one to again to the first note, go back to the selection tool and then reorganize it a little bit so we see better the note for direction. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to the emitter and then let's change a little bit the settings while we play, and we activate that and click play. Okay, really nice indeed. Of course, you can go much wilder than that, and you can be way more creative than this, but this is just an initial tutorial to give you an idea of how you can use it. Of course, you have other options. You have this X here. You can click on a node and click on the X, and then it will delete that node. Let's listen to some of the examples which are already inbuilt here. And we'll ask you to, of course, to lose the changes because I press on the next preset here. So let's click play. Okay, really nice indeed. So as you can see, there are a lot of different presets. Some are really, really nice. Okay. And if you click here on the name of the preset, this is where, of course, you can select your preset, create a new one, save it, and also save a copy. You have additional help here, and you have also configuration here for your MIDI, network section, device, etc., etc. You are able to link, you have BPM per minute, then your transport control here. So very much, very straightforward to use. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this comes also as an AUv3 version. So let's close this and let's go to the AUM like so. And then let's create a MIDI channel. And in this MIDI channel, of course, let's search for Senode. Okay, like so, perfect. Now let's create, for example, another audio channel with, I don't know, a grand piano. Now let's connect that grand piano to Senode, but in this case, remember, you need to select a channel to filter on. Okay, so in this case, I set the grand piano to receive only on channel number 1. Now let's do the same for another audio channel, and let's bring in, I don't know, a trumpet, like so. Let's connect it again to Senode, and let's filter again to MIDI channel number 2. Let's decrease also the output of that trumpet. Now let's go inside Senode and let's create an emitter like so, and also let's create a second emitter there. Then let's select the first emitter and let's why not create some note. Yeah, recording button. Okay, perfect. Now let's move these notes here like so, because I want them to connect it to this first emitter here. So let's do like so, as I demonstrated a moment ago. So we put it in a loop like that. Now, how do I know that this emitter is going to channel number 1? Well, select it, then go to this selection here, and here it says output channel for that emitter. So change that to 1. So in a similar way, you can go to this second emitter, and by the way, I could have changed the name, right? So, and for simplicity, I just kept them as the default. But anyway, let's go to the second one, and let's say that this one, the output channel, will be number 2. And then now let's create some node. Okay, perfect. And let's zoom out a little bit, and let's disable the recording button. Let's make all the relevant connection like so. Perfect. Okay, and let's rearrange so you can see better the different arrows. Let's go back to the emitter. Let's change the division so it goes faster, and let's click play. Oops. Let's click. We need to enable the emitter, and let's click play again. Of course, you need to remember, based on the type of audio unit, to select the right configuration. Okay, and remember, you need to enable the emitters. As you can see earlier on, I forgot for a moment, and that is why it was not producing sound. And as you can see, when I played the first time, the trumpet was not sounding on DC, but that is because it is the preset that was configured here that was not accepting below that particular MIDI note. Okay, I hope that you found these initial video interesting, and I'll see you in the next tutorial, where we will continue to explore as another the graph sequencer. Thank you. Bye.